It really doesn't feel as though there's enough kindness in the world at the moment, does it? Everything's going off, everything's kicking off. But there's no downside to kindness, is there? We should all be a bit kinder to each other. Kindness forms long-lasting friendship. Kindness forms trust between societies. And I think everybody, all societies, every individual has the ability and the propensity, in fact, to be kind. I think kindness is brushed out of the way by outside influences, not individual influences. Politics, religion, and I'm not just talking the everyday politics that we hear about in the media in our own countries, and I'm not talking about the religion that lives side by side in most communities. I'm talking about radical ideology. I'm talking about radical politics of every stripe. And it's those things that influence it, and it's those things that seem to keep kindness at bay, because radical politics and radical thinking and radical religion just don't seem to... There is no place in them for kindness. It doesn't go with their narrative at all, does it? You cannot be kind and religiously powerful and bigoted and politically powerful and bigoted. It just doesn't work, because as soon as you bring in kindness, you are vilified. Kindness is often seen as being naive and naivety. Well, it's not, is it? You think about it, what is seen as naivety is basically just a nuance. It's looking... Kindness is looking at situations without any preconceived ideas, any preconceived agenda at all. It's just going into a situation. If you go into a situation without an agenda, without an idea, without this politics and policies, people say you're naive. Oh, you're not naive, you're open-minded, and there's nothing wrong with being open-minded. Kindness. Radical politics, radical religion, people accusing you of naivety. It almost seems like kindness is an outrider, doesn't it? It almost seems like kindness is some kind of weird outlier that is other from society, that it's not the norm, that kindness shouldn't be seen as the norm. Kindness, it's almost like there's a society today, it's like radicalism is the norm. Radical politics, radical religion, radical thinking, radical ideology. That's the norm. And kindness is seen as some kind of weakness, some kind of weak naivety. Where in fact, it's not. It's a strength as far as I'm concerned. Kindness, because kindness goes against the agenda, goes against the norm at the moment, it takes strength to be kind. It takes strength to be openly kind in this society. So if you're kind, if you believe yourself to be kind, then believe yourself to be strong, because you are going against the norm. You are introducing something that makes other people feel uncomfortable. Radical politics, radical religion, radical ideology, radical thinking. There is a place for radical thinking in debate. That's what we need. We need radical thinking. As long as you don't convert that into a radical ideology where the end result always seems to be violence, doesn't it? And then you see this violence as justified. How can you justify violence? You can't. So all these people who go out there on the street shouting for death of somebody else, they're the weak ones, because they've let their ideology run away with them. They're not bright enough to put it into boxes and say, right, that, and that's what I think, and I can debate that, because debate is different from argument. Argument is different from fighting. Fighting is different from killing. So naivety is not naivety in most cases. Naivety in this respect is just open-mindedness. The ability to debate somebody else's radical ideas, and the ability to try to justify and debate your own radical ideas, because there's nothing wrong with radical ideas. Without radical ideas, without radicalism, we wouldn't make it forward as a society, would we? We would stagnate. We'd just sit on our backsides and go, that's enough, we're all right now, let's not go any further than this, let's just keep the status quo and keep everything normal and safe. You need radical people to come along, but radical in today's narrative just is defined as violent, lashing out, radical. I mean, I don't even know what the dictionary definition of radical is. But I'm sure it doesn't say radical, go out and kill people. I'd like to think that I've been radical in my life to a certain extent. I always had strong opinions and I was quite ready to go out and debate them. And heated debate is great. Get the blood going, get the ideas going. Stand your corner, fight your corner with words. And at the end of the day, shake your opponent's hand and go for a pint together. Kindness. Acts of kindness are good for your well-being. How many of us out there, and I'm one, get a big kick out of giving, get more of a kick out of giving? Who gets more of a buzz out of giving somebody a present and watching the look in their eyes when they open it? Who gets more of a buzz out of that? It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good whilst doing a kind act. And I mean, there's no downsides to that, is there? Kindness is good for you. Kindness is good for your soul. Kindness is good for your well-being. Kindness makes you feel good in yourself. There's no downside. Does being unkind give you the same kind of buzz? It does to some people, but only if they've got an underlying mental illness anyway. Kindness is good. Kindness is a drug. Kindness, once you do acts of kindness, I think this is why you get a lot of people get involved in charities and go above and beyond and give up the time and give up their lives for doing things for other people, because it just gives you a feeling of well-being to know that you're helping your fellow man. Whereas being unkind is only beneficial to the sociopath. Kindness also has a beneficial ripple effect too, doesn't it? Ripple effects like a stone hitting a pond. Acts of kindness encourages acts of kindness, ad infinitum. A kind society is a kind society. And a kind society is only a kind society because of the central ethos, the core at the middle of kindness. There's a hub, there's a centre of these spokes that are radiating out. And that kindness goes out like a ripple effect and affects everyone. That there's a lapwing there going over our heads. It ripples out like ripples on a pond and affects everybody, and it gets into your psyche, and you can't help it. That if you were treated with kindness, you treat others with kindness, because you understand on some kind of subliminal level, on some kind of primal level, that act of kindness has made you not a better person, but has improved your life for that moment. And then you feel the need to replicate that, to make somebody else's life feel better, and then they will do the same, and they will do the same, and then it will go through society. So it seems like what we need some kind of monumental act of kindness, don't we? And then hope that it ripples out a bit, and then we quieten down, society quieten down for a little while until the next sociopath comes along and spoils it all, and we have to start throwing rocks back into the pool of kindness again. Doesn't it? Isn't it? Wasn't it? Basically, we're all the same animal all across the world, aren't we? We all recognise kindness when it's showed to us, and we all recognise kindness when we do it to other people, and we all recognise the benefits of kindness. It's just that our societies, our different societies, have programmed us and conditioned us to put kindness on the back burner because it's seen, because other things are more important than kindness. Worshipping whatever God can sometimes come above kindness. Following some political figure can sometimes supersede kindness. Even following some kind of rock star, a pop star or model or whatever can overcome kindness. But we all recognise it. We are the same animal. We recognise kindness. Strip away all the ideology. Strip away all the politics. Strip away all the idolising of false prophets. And we're all basically the same person. We all recognise kindness. I think we all want to be kind, really at the core, although you may look at somebody and you may see somebody's actions and you may say they are far from a kind person. But being cowards as a race, we follow what we are told to follow. We follow the religion, we follow the politics. And if that religion or politics is all about kindness, then that's all for the good. It isn't. More often than not, it's about bigotry and hate and doing down on your fellow man. And we know it when we do it. All the people who are doing evil deeds across the world in the name of some ideology or other, I believe deep down at the bottom of their soul, they know there's something down there, the kernel, there's a tiny 0.1% of them, of their heads saying, I'm not sure I should be doing this. I'm not sure whether I should be being kind to this man that I'm beating here. I'd like to think it, but that's me being naive, and there you go. But then again, I can be naive, I'm not bothered because I don't see it as a weakness. I'm naive because I believe that I'm open-minded. And I hope that I'm kind. I mean, I could be kinder, we could all be kinder, but I just hope I go through life without cocking somebody else's life up, because that's the ultimate, isn't it? To go through life ruining somebody else's life when that somebody else has just had one chance, like you, like the rest of us, and then we are so arrogant that we think we can come along and spoil it all. So be kind, be good, be kind if you can. No matter what your beliefs, what your thoughts, what your politics, what your religion, what your ideology, whatever, no matter how much you like a good argument and a good fight, just root down somewhere into the depths there and drag up a bit of kindness. Because a bit of kindness goes a long, long way. What a beautiful day. It was my mother's funeral yesterday. So that's the end of another chapter. And we move on. And this world is a beautiful place for the time we've got in it. So peace and love, and we shall see you on the flip. I said that the wrong way around, didn't I?